BWOne here from BWOne. I want to give you my review of Lenovo Yoga 3 Pro. This is a really slick ultrabook in the Pro series on the Yoga line, and I do think this is a really cool device, but I do think the Pro may not be the most accurate, name for this particular device here. You'll kind of understand as I kind of go through it here, but I really do like it. Let's first take a look here, really at the design. You can see how super thin and super light the Yoga actually really is. Pretty light, pretty thin. You see it kind of has a little bit of, starts a little thick here and then kind of makes its way down to the thinness right here, pretty much at the tip at the front here. Extremely light device as well too. I had this in my bag and barely knew I even had it in the bag. It's so light, it's almost forgettable that you're even carrying a laptop with you. Hats off to Lenovo for that. Now you can see they have this new watch band hinge, which I really do like. I like that the hinge is here because it really makes it much smoother for the sort of the yoga action, basically going all the different modes here. Makes it a lot easier to sort of bend around here. Much smoother 360-degree action. Really nice. Really glad Lenovo really did add this watch band here. Now let's take a look at some of the ports here. Now as thin as this is, usually you lose ports and things of that nature, but not with the Yoga 3 Pro here. You have all the ports you really need here with it. Here on the side, we'll take a look at some buttons here. You have your power button, you have your on key. Here on the side, you also have your rotation lock. You have your volume buttons. You have your 3.5mm headphone jack. You also have your USB port here. On this side here, you have your SD card slot, you have your mini HDMI port, a USB port here, and another USB port, and it's a combo port. It's your charging port as well too, and a USB port. I really think that's an innovative design coming there from Lenovo. Really cool way to be able to kind of combine two ports together. The charging cable actually looks a little bit different, so when you plug it in, it's a little sort of hook there, so you can't plug it into something else by accident. But I really do think that's a really good idea for Lenovo to add both of those there. Keeps you having as many ports as possible and still keeps the device nice, light, thin, and very, very productive here. All right, here on the bottom you do have your speaker grills. I can show you that here. Right here at the bottom is this JBL audio quality coming from it here. So overall, really nice package, really light package. It's very impressive and sexy. And it gets even sexier when we open it up here. Boom, you can see right there, you can see the traditional Lenovo keyboard here, very good travel with it. Has a nice sort of, I guess this is a, I'm not sure what this material is exactly called, but it's very nice and very comfortable to kind of have on here. And it makes it really nice to kind of touch and feel overall. Nice size trackpad here along with it as well too. And you do have JBL audio speakers, which will definitely test out the speakers as well. All right, opening up the Lenovo Yoga 3 Pro here, you can definitely see that you have a nice and beautiful 13.3-inch Quad HD display, Quad HD Plus display. Definitely improved display, looks really good. We're gonna show you some video and audio with it in just a second so you guys get a good idea of how much improved that display is. You have a nice keyboard, nice layout here at the bottom, nice comfortable inside here. I really do like the material that they use inside here. It makes it nice, comfortable for when you're resting a palm on it. And you have a nice tracked keyboard. It's a backlit keyboard as well too. As you can see, that lights up. And lights up pretty decently bright here with it. You can just use the function key like this, turn it on and off like that. We'd like to see to have a couple of more levels and stages, but even though that it has a backlit keyboard, and I really do like when they add those to the Ultrabooks here, and definitely good job from Lenovo on that. Now for processing power, inside this bad boy, you have Intel Core M. It's a sort of Intel supposed to be sort of their fanless processor. Lenovo did put a fan in here just in case for a little more of the intensive applications here with it. So it's not completely silent, but it's still relatively good performer. It can do most tasks very, very well. There is some interesting performance here when dealing with some of the heavier tasks such as video editing and such like that. We were doing some video editing in 4K, and I found that the system kind of lagged a little bit, didn't go as strong as I would have liked it to. I think that's attributed to the Core M processor, which isn't necessarily a powerhouse processor. It's really sort of meant to be a fanless for thin and light devices, tablet-based devices, hybrid devices, just like this bad boy here. Let's try to get that. You can see some of the specs inside of here. This model comes with the 8 gigs of RAM here inside of it, and we do have 256 in terms of storage capacity, but you can get up to 512 gigabytes of storage inside here with it. Now, like I said, the processor, like I said, it's interesting inside of it. I think it's good, but it doesn't give you that extra oomph and power that you really would expect out of a typical i7 and such, or i5 or i7. Now, you do want to make sure down here in the power modes, when you're changing the power modes out here, that you want to make sure that you're going between balanced and high power, because that's going to really regulate how powerful the processor is and how much demand you get out of it. Now, for in terms of battery life with it, now battery life is definitely interesting. Now, when I have this thing on standby and I throw it in my bag, I've had it sit there for a week in my bag and I didn't even touch it, and it completely worked. It completely still had battery power in it. It was maybe roughly around, it's at 100%. It might have dropped down and roughly 85 at the end. I opened it a couple of times. Completely good in terms of standby time. Typical usage, if you have this on high performance, you're going to get roughly around 5 hours or so of battery life out of it. If you go into the balance side of things, you're looking at roughly about 7.5 hours is what I kind of got out of it there. There's a low power saver mode, but that really cuts the performance down, and I really wouldn't recommend using that. So really between those is what you're kind of looking for in terms of battery life. Like I said, high powered, you're getting about 5 hours, and balance, you're getting roughly about 7 hours or so of battery life here with the Yoga 3 Pro. And then definitely determine how on the display how well that battery works. But let's go ahead and jump to the display here to show you some content and listen to some audio here on the video, because it's really good quality audio here with it. As we'll bring this up.
Very much from BWOne. We're going to do a quick hands-on here with the LG G4. So the LG G4, first thing you notice, it comes with a 5.5-inch quad HD display. It's an IPS display, IPS quantum display. Here in the back, you're going to see a 16-megapixel camera with a couple of new sensors with it, actually. Here in the back now, you have your laser autofocus right here, but then without it going out too far. It's pretty nice. It does have the rear key design here, which I criticized, remember, on the G2. I liked it a little bit better on the G3 because it includes the buttons. And here on the G4, I like it as well, too. It's pretty nice. It's actually, you can press the rear key buttons twice, and you can actually get quickly to the camera, even though it takes a shot immediately.
To be the Yoga and switch between modes is still nice and still faster than ever. Now you can just switch between different modes here. So I have this nice little portrait mode to kind of, if I wanted to read manga or something, or a newspaper or something. Some of the full screen apps really do a good job of taking advantage of it here, as you kind of want to use apps as an example. You still have your other modes, such as you have your, that was portrait, you have your landscape mode here, which is nice to go through here in a tablet. One of my favorite modes here is a stand mode like this. I really think that Windows really becomes very useful when you're able to kind of navigate through it here in this way and go between your different applications. Go ahead and hit the menu here. It's definitely easy to navigate through. And also tent mode as well too. As we'll rotate it around just like that. Tent mode's also very, very solid. You come in and out here just like that, and very responsive here. So the touch display is responsive. The Yoga is very good for those type of things and being able to use different modes and definitely take advantage of it. So overall, I really do like the Yoga 3 Pro here. I think if I was to determine it a Pro versus the Yoga 2 Pro, I think the Yoga 2 Pro is a little bit more the power user sort of style. I would call this a Yoga 2 Air maybe, not to rip off the MacBook Air, but I think really this is designed for someone that wants good power, but really more concerned with sort of size, thinness, and weight. And I think that's where I think I would call this a Yoga Air instead of calling it the Yoga 3 Pro. I definitely do think that's a product category I think Lenovo's kind of discovered with this, maybe in the way they designed it, and I think we marketed definitely good for that. So realistic in the end of the day, this is a very, very good laptop. I definitely recommend this ultrabook. If I would say if you're a heavy power user, the Yoga 2 Pro is probably a little bit more what you're looking for, but if you're someone that travels a whole lot, looking for something very light and thin, but still want some good power with it, the Yoga 3 Pro is definitely one here to go with. So this is BWOne here from BWOne. Definitely want to thank you for watching this video. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition. Thanks for watching.